So today we will be doing the learning outcome 2 from the computing research methods. So normally it says that be able to plan a computer based research project on a topic with computer science. Yeah. So the topic wise research proposal structure that we will be discussing. So basically when you want to start any research, you need to have a research, research proposal. Yeah. And are you aware of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the research proposal is based on, what we want to do, and your supervisor, your professor or whoever you will be guiding to you, and they need to look at the content of the research proposal, and they will think about its feasibility and will allow you to carry out, or maybe they might advise you to change your research proposal regarding anything like a topic, methods, or whatsoever. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, when you really want to start with a research proposal, the structure should start with obviously the title. Your title should answer the question, what is the research? Databases in organizations, yeah, or an investigation of the role of database or information systems in the organizations. There can be any phrase or any other phrase more, concrete, whichsoever. There should be a concise phrase. Yeah. Abstract is normally the first page of your dissertation normally, but if it is a research paper or research proposal, then obviously the abstract is the kind of summary that anyone or your professor, your supervisor, guide will read first, and that would describe everything about the research proposal. So describe, like an abstract for a proposal should include the topic, so he or she would know about your topic, your aim of study, then who will be involved in the research, yeah, the methods and the time frame. So how you will carry out, what would be included, and in what time you would finish it. That's the most important. For example, if you want to carry out a research project at graduation, then it would have a kind of time frame. If it is the master's level, if it is the PhD level, then it will have their own schedule. Yeah. It is usually conducted with a statement that explains the relevance of the research, so why it is needed. Yeah. So the abstract explains that why you want to research, and abstracts for a proposal are generally in future tense. Yeah, you outline what you intend to do. Make sense?
Yes.
So like you would say, I want the research would be carried out into the, let's say, relation, for example, entity relationship diagrams, and the research would focus on this would do, would do like this, and like a future tense would be repeated most of the time. Yeah. Now the research proposal normally should have either and or background. So do you have an idea about the introduction and background?
Yeah.
So in the introduction, you would give a kind of detailed study of the topic, and probably your proposed solution, and you would be describing that what it would include into sections, and probably the background would be the kind of study in the area. So in some proposals, the introduction and the background are separate. In others, they serve the same purpose and are combined. So normally people say introduction oblique background in one thing, but the others separate. How? So as I told you that in introduction you mostly talk about your project or proposal, and in the background you talk about others done similar to your project. But if you want to mix up and combine, then you can make it in one. So both an introduction and background sections outline why you chose your topic, and then that section should include what prompted your interest in the topic. Like you say that some projects are available and some of them have these kind of limitations, and I want to work on this. So what's the reason behind it? You would say that somehow you really wanted to find the differences, or for example limitations into those particular things, and so that would also include the relevance to the previous research. So when you want to refer to the existing things done, then that would be called as the literature. Yeah, so you would be referring to the existing work by comparing your work. That would be the literature review. Yeah, so literature is basically the existing stuff in a particular area. Then what your research will contribute to the research and the field. Yeah, so you would also need to explain that what you will be discovering new, yeah, and how that would be helpful in a relevant field, whether it would be useful, it would be a contribution or not. Yeah, so it may include your research objectives, questions or hypotheses, and literature review. So most of the time in the introduction and background chapter or section, you talk about your research question and you do the literature review. Yeah, so two things. Literature review will be a kind of, let's say, half part, and your objectives, what you want to do and what questions you want to answer or what hypothesis you want to prove would be a part of it, and maybe into the introduction chapter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Research question. What is the research question you are trying to find the answer to? So for example, how to find the best entity relationship diagrams is a kind of research question. Or what are the ways to illustrate the relationship into the database? So that's a research question. Or maybe what are the best diagrams to represent the relations between the tables? That can be a research question. So this can also be termed as an aim or purpose of the research. Yeah. So research question can also be known as a purpose of the research. Think about how you finish this statement. For example, the purpose of this research is for an investigation of the role of XYZ for YYY. Yeah. So really research question, is a kind of starting point. Are you clear about the research question?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the next is the literature review. So you started with like a title, you gave an idea of research question in the introduction, and then we talk about the literature review. The literature review of a research proposal may draw on a detailed review that you have already conducted. or maybe specific to the development of your proposal. So whichever the research has already been conducted, can be that one, or any specific development related to your proposal, that can be the case. Your literature review needs to demonstrate that you have read broadly on the topic and its wider context. So, for example, if you are doing the literature review and you are proposing a new topic, and probably you found, let's say, 5 methods on, for example, the relationship on the entity diagrams, and then those 5 related work probably is done, a kind of 10 years ago. Yeah. So normally, how do you do the literature review? You read the books, you read the research papers, you read the journal articles, you read the conference papers. So it's clear that the latest research papers, that you read would have a latest research. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if your literature review is, the new, you are depending on the latest research papers, then you are okay. If not, then your literature review would not be good enough and will not be, suitable to include. So at least somehow you should have, few of them, the latest one. That is the kind of, the requirement for the literature review, wherever you want to study. Obviously, you can refer to the some theory books, and the theory was given like, years ago. Yeah. So it should highlight the trends in the literature reading relating to your research topic, including research areas, methodology, theoretical approaches, and findings. Information such as where the literature is mainly coming from, or countries, areas that is focused on, could be considered. Yeah. So, for example, if you are including the literature from, let's say, only from one country or from one conference, then probably may not be good. But if you want to include a quality research, then you need to look at the literature from the worldwide and from the popular, research articles, the research journals, and they should have a good quality. Yeah. Your review should outline some of the limitations or gaps in the literature that you have identified. That's the main point. Why do you do the literature review? You see what is there, and in order to give you a way to the research, you try to find the limitations, maybe gaps, or any critique, yeah, that you really want to focus on. Probably you may not find any limitation, yeah, you may not find any gap. Would you still be able to do any research?
No.
Yes.
Maybe to expand on the one.
No. You can give a critique even. Yeah. You can review it still. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are reviewing, yeah, then you are doing a kind of research indeed.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember we discussed, the phenomenological research. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people used to do like a kind of phenomenological research just to think about the ideas whether they are fine or not.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So your review should outline any limitation, gap, or maybe a critique. Yeah. You need to draw your literature review to justify your own research. Research may be anything finding your review. Indicate the gaps your research is addressing and not the original contribution it will make to the field in general. So obviously, you need to the third case, we are not talking about a critique. Yeah. But we are talking about any limitation, and your research would be making an indication to the gap, and you are addressing that particular problem in order to contribute some new research. Yeah. So the literature review helps inform and set up your theoretical framework, methodology, and research design. Yeah. So based on the literature review, looking at the theoretical work frameworks, whatever they have done, you would be probably, if you are trying to modify or enhance any theoretical framework, yeah, framework can be any solution, any idea which is systematically given, then you can do a research to give any modification to it. Yeah, no matter if you are truly providing any addition or any single thing in addition to that field, then that's a research. Research especially in computer science, is never anything that you discover every time new. Yeah. So you don't think that okay, if you are unable to produce any new research, then you are not done. No, you can still do research. You can do an investigation of the topic. That's a research. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Theoretical framework is basically the drawing on different theories you have identified in your literature review. You need to identify which theoretical approach or approaches will be implied in your research and why. The theoretical framework is like representation of your framework in a kind of diagrams. For example, if you are saying you have a company solution, yeah, then the company solution will have kind of sections, probably some IT section, then IT section will have some departments, and how they would look like. Then you would be giving a kind of theoretical framework. Yeah. Then you need to select the methodology. Some proposal distinguish between methodology. So from proposal to proposal, the methodology matters. The way of how you will gather your data is methodology. Yeah. And the method or research design, that how you will do it. First you get the data and you design the research, that how you would do the research. Yeah. In discussing the methodology, you need to draw a reviewed literature and consider the different methodological approaches used. Yeah. So in methodology, you need to look at the literature and see which methods are being used and how those approaches have been used. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, methods, let's say some people did research by interviewing. Yeah. Some people did research by focus group. Some people did the research by questionnaires. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did they get the data and how did they process? That really matters. So methodology is basically the main concern. And obviously in the computing research, you would be dealing with a kind of quantitative research. Yeah. So in the quantitative research, like other methods like statistical methods, and the only the data related with the quantifying amount would be used. So the research design and method, as with the theoretical framework and methodology, it is important to demonstrate that you have read the other studies in your area of research. You should be able to address the strengths and limitations of methods in similar research and justify why you have chosen the method that you have. In your method, you should discuss the following. Now, whatever the methods you have chosen, you should know what are the participants who will be doing your research with individuals, business organizations, and what's your sample size and its parameters. Yeah. So first of all, who is participating in your research? Probably it could be the computing research or general, but at least you should be able to know that for whom you are doing research. Maybe, for example, if you are doing computing research related with the databases, then probably the data, the organization, the data administrator, and something like that, they would be involved. Yeah. Then data collection, how you will go about collecting your information, maybe surveys, experiments, interviews. They should also include any equipment or instruments that you will need. Yeah. So how you will really collect the data. And in the computing, probably you will have some results that would be data. Results like, the how the software is running, how many records are there, how many records are being achieved, and this is making like a data collection. Yeah. Then data analysis and discussion. Once you have the information, what you will do with it? Include any tools you will use to assist you with analysis, for example, any programs, models. So analysis is basically compiling the data. Whatever the data you have, you got it, you need to compile that how the data looks like and how it does include the concludes. Yeah, how it is giving you a conclusion about the type of the with respect to the data. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limitations. Look at your methodology and consider any weaknesses or limitations that may occur as a result of your research design. Address the limitations by indicating how you will minimize them. Do you think you should include the limitations of your research?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, definitely. You never feel shy that there are certain limitations in your research. You never should, feel shy, and you can take it to the future work, and that's a kind of, a genuine research and sincere research you should always do. If you don't, then it's not a good practice at all. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ethics in the research. You must be very well aware of ethics, are you? Are you clear about the ethics?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Can you tell me what are the ethics in the research?
The ethics in the research should talk about both data and information privacy,
Yeah.
use of information, use of
Yeah.
data,
Yeah.
and things like that. Those are what I think about the ethics.
Like, you are doing the research legally, you are not harming anyone, yeah, and you are following certain rules and regulations. So almost all research needs to consider ethics. In most cases, this relates to the ethical consideration of how data will be collected. In this section, you should outline your awareness and understanding of ethical issues associated with your research proposal. You should consider the rights of those being researched, including informed consent, your responsibility, and how the data will be collected, stored, and disposed of. You should indicate whether your proposal will require approval from an ethics committee, and if so, which one. So even, for example, if you want to do research on the atomic energy, then probably you might need to get the permission from the government, isn't it?
Yeah.
So ethics is really important. You may not be allowed to do any research on the animals, but maybe you need to do, then you need to do it with permission and regulations. Then communicating the results. You may need to consider how the information you discover will be shared with the wider research academic community. In most cases, a written document, report, research paper, thesis or journal article is an appropriate means of communicating your findings. So communicating means you publish your research in a report, in a research paper, in a thesis or any journal article. Yeah. So if your research is intended to assist a broader audience, for example, specific members of community, other forms to disseminate your knowledge could include conference presentation, pamphlets, musical, theatrical performance, film or general media articles. So wherever you want to show the results of your research, you need to publish it, and the publication should be a kind of, a medium, any suitable medium which it relates to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for example, if you have done any finding, if you have got any finding into a topic, then that particular topic is whether worthy or not. If you have, for example, if you did any research at home, you are saying you have done a wonderful research, and your research will only be recognized if you send your research to particular, audience, yeah, to any conference, to any organization, to any awarding body, yeah. If they accept it, they will publish it. So that's a main important, part of the research, to publish it. If you have results, if it gets published, it means your research is valid. If not, then your research is not valid. Very simple and clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Significance of the research. It is important to convince your reader of the validity of your research. So validity of your research is most important. You need to communicate enthusiasm and confidence for the research, arguing clearly as to the contribution it will make to the subject area and discipline in general. This is sometimes a separate section. In other instances, it forms part of the introduction or background. So significance is basically that you could really convince that you have done a valuable research. Yeah. So anyhow, you have to publish your, research, like in communicating, but you should be able to produce the significance of the research, and which is most important. If you are, successful, then you have contributed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Timeline, as I discussed earlier, that every type of research should have a timeline. So a timeline that estimates how long each task will take helps determine the scope of your research and if it is achievable within a given time frame. Scope of your research means, can you explain the scope? What is the scope?
The scope of the research?
Yeah.
The scope of the research is the extent of coverage, the aspects that this research will touch, and the method of delivering the research.
Yeah.
Those are all about the scope. The
extent, coverage and any boundary, any limitation to particular topic that you would be doing, and if anything comes, other than that, then you need to say that these things are not in the scope of my research. and I am not, going into the detail. Yeah. So
Okay.
your research proposal timeline should include time allocation for a detailed literature review. Yeah. Time for approval from ethics committee, reviewing or testing of research design, data collection and analysis, and writing up findings. So everything should be given a time. Yeah, that you will be doing literature review, that might be the longer part, and then after review you get it approved, then review testing, then collection analysis, and blah blah blah. It is important to be realistic with the time frame. Consider if you are able to dedicate full time work to the research, if it is to be conducted while you are studying other papers, working part-time or full-time, or have family commitments. Try to be very much realistic with it. Don't say that you can, uh, do research like, the uh, 12 hours in a day. No, you should be very much, clear with it. Okay, you can work, let's say, 5 hours in a day. You have any other problems, you can work maximum 8 hours, and be realistic with the timing. That's main important. What happens, people, what they do, look busy, do nothing. Yeah. And initially when you go to study in library, sometimes you find any one topic, 10 topics, but sometimes you don't get anything. Is that true?
I didn't get the point.
I mean, it says regarding the time, you should be realistic.
Yes.
Yeah. You never give the time that is not, doable for you.
Yes.
Yeah. If you have any problems, family, whatsoever, then you must mention, yeah, and remain on the time.
Yes.
Okay. Budget. Often when requesting funding for research, a budget is included to indicate whether funds will be allocated. A budget may include items such as the cost of survey design, printing, transcribers, software or research assistants. This could be included in the appendices. Yeah. So do you know about the appendices?
Yes. Appendices at the end of at the back of the paper.
Yeah, at the back of any document which are not, necessary to be studied by the reader, but whoever wants to read, they can read it. Yeah. And then references, it is important to include all references you have used when writing your proposal. This demonstrates that you are serious about your research and have invested both time and thought into the process. So this is not only the seriousness, but whatever the literature you have referred, that would be a kind of proof that you have referred your work from that particular reference. Yeah. If you are not including that reference, then probably it could be the plagiarism that you might have done, and that's not good. So references are really, the key important thing in the literature review. Whatever you review, you highlight by the references. And then appendixes, this may include the copies of letters seeking participants, consent forms, draft surveys, questionnaires, anything, that is the least important, so you need to include in the appendices. Then data collection methods, we discussed in detail in learning outcome 1, many data collection methods. Yeah. And now we move further to the next. Research topic selection. Yeah. The first step is brainstorm, think for any idea that what you want to do. Second, read general background information about the topic. Then focus on your topic, that what you want to do, then make a list of useful keywords, for example, your area, your work, your method, and your expected results. Then be flexible, try to, not to rush, but, the study existing material. Then define your topic as a focused research question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simply, if you want to select any topic, then you should have an idea that what you want to do. Then look at the general background, then see what your topic can be, and what would be the 3, 4, 5 keywords in your phrase, and then you should be flexible, like, you can change the topics at some stage as well, So do not be rigid on that particular topic, but try to be flexible with the topic. Yeah. And then define your topic as a focused research question. Then try to convert your research topic into a research question. That's it about the selecting a topic. So even after selecting the topic, yeah, you are not done. You are little bit flexible, and by the passage of time you can change it. And it happens. People, those who start with the research, and sometimes they think that that would be their final topic, but after doing some research, they find they knew that the topic of their research could be this instead of, let's say, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, scope, we discussed earlier. To write a scope of a study, outline the limitations of the research, the specific data used for the research, and the theories used to interpret the data. Scope of a study is typically added to longer essays and research reports, theses, and dissertations. Yeah. So that's it. Simply, scope is the boundaries, that what is included. Now the structure of your research proposal should look like this: the title, the abstract, introduction, and our background, research question, and the research question would be included into the introduction chapter indeed. Yeah. And literature review would be a kind of chapter, then theoretical framework would be the chapter, and probably the methodology would be the part of the theoretical framework. Then research design and method would be the probably another chapter, maybe is basically the your findings. Significance of research is somehow is known as evaluation of the research. How do you evaluate your research? Have you heard about the evaluation chapter into the books?
Evaluation chapter?
Evaluation, yeah, evaluation, evaluate. Like you did something. How you can evaluate it? Yeah. So that's the significance. Then timeline, budget, references, appendix. Time management is the act of process of planning, exercising conscious control over the amount of time spent on specific activities, especially to increase effectiveness, efficiency, or productivity. Use time scales to split the research activities. So time management would be done using the time scales to be split by the research activities. Steps for managing the data: identify issues and or opportunities for collecting data, select issues and or opportunities and set goals, plan an approach and methods, collect data, analyze and interpret data, act on results. So managing data, if you want to manage the data, then identify it, select it, plan a method, collect it, analyze it, and take the results by actions. That's it. Like, how you manage the data, you identify, select, plan, collect, and analyze. So that's about the topics which are included into the learning outcomes. I have tried to give the clear definitions. However, the time management, apart from the time management, structure of your research proposal is important. How do you select the topic? And individual chapters of your research proposal are important. That really what you need to include, and then you will be able to go ahead with your research. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any question?
No question now.
Okay, that's fine. So we end this session today, and I would see you tomorrow again. Yeah, you will be available as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be available. But I want to check
Yeah.
maybe going forward from the next time, the next week, if it could be possible, we
1 second. Yeah. Let me stop recording, and then
Okay.